Hey guys, Cyndi Williams here from Careers on Vacation. I have the amazing Celeste Ledesma-Gregory with us today from Whimsy Travel. Celeste, how are you this morning?
Fantastic. How are you?
I am so good. I love any morning that I just get to spend with my clients, especially when they're so happy with the program they want to talk about it. That's my favorite kind of morning.
Right.
So let's talk about Whimsy Travel. And I just want to share a little bit about your background first. So you had not worked in the travel industry at all.
Right.
You had traveled a ton.
Yes.
To
Exactly.
really cool places. Like, give me like your top 3 places you've been in the world that other people probably haven't been.
Haven't been. So Kosovo was
Ooh,
probably
that's a
the
good
most
one.
unique one that I've been to, just because people would never think to go to Kosovo. And then I've been to Kenya, and I've been to Bali, Indonesia. Um, so yeah, those are probably the top most unique
Yes.
places.
I love all of those. 2 of the 3 I haven't been to, so it's kind of like, wow, you're so well traveled. And sometimes people in your position, they have that passion for travel. You've been traveling already, then you're like, oh, how do I make a career out of this? I want to do this all the time.
Exactly.
So glad we connected through Careers on Vacation. But one of the things in our program that is really unique in the industry is our mindset work that we do with all of our students, because it's one thing to be a travel agent. It's another thing to really be an entrepreneur and a business owner and take on that, that thing that feels big to a lot of people because they just don't have all the pieces. So the mindset work is really key in our program. How did that mindset work in Careers on Vacation, how did the work impact other areas of your life?
It's really interesting. It's something I've been looking for a long time, is to get very clear intentions and really understand, like from my heart, to really understand what it is that I wanted out of my life and what I could do to have a job that I love. And through the mindset work that we did, especially in the beginning, it just made me hunger for more and to really understand, like how to manifest wonderful things into my life and to believe in, following my heart and knowing that the heart knows the right answers. And because of that work, I've actually taken it and done even more, to really get in touch with who I am and what that means for me and how that will affect me as a business owner.
Yeah, I love that. And it's kind of like tugging on the string, right?
Yep.
It kind of opens up in terms of like, what is this new world going to be like? What is it going to mean? And then how do I need to think about, how do I need to approach? And sometimes it's easy for other things to jump in the way, either the gremlins to tell you you can't do it, or, ooh, I haven't spent the last 20 years in travel. How do I just jump into it now? And then, like you said, in the other areas, which is great. Well, tell us about a little bit about what you were thinking about with your business before you started and where your business is now. I know that you didn't have a business when you started, which is totally fine. A lot of the people don't in our program. And talk to us about just your journey.
Yeah. So I have an extensive marketing background. And as you said, I've traveled a lot, and it's an industry that I absolutely love. I've planned trips for family and friends. I've taken groups of 30, 40 people on vacation with me, so it's kind of been in my blood for a long time. I just didn't know how to manifest or to make that into a paying business. And so it was great because you and I were able to fast track and kind of personalize it, touch on the marketing pieces, but really just more you showing me how it relates to the travel industry. But then we could go deeper on other areas that I wasn't as comfortable with, so I was able to take all these passions and knowledge that I've gained through the years and pull them together into a working business. And it was surprising how easy it actually was once I had the course and knew, how to get the passwords and how to, what steps I needed to take. And all of that is the things I was able to learn from you and to be able to pull it all together. And that's what I really needed. So it's exciting, what the future holds for the business.
Yes. And it's like you said, it's all those different pieces. People just don't know how to put all of those pieces together because travel is a complicated job. And then
Right.
doing the business of running your business, That's the secret sauce. And like you said, those puzzle pieces, how do I put it together? That's the difference in running a real successful, profitable travel business and just kind of messing around, having a hobby, not knowing how to do marketing, not knowing what numbers do I pay attention to, not knowing how to have the business plan. And you came to us with a great background in marketing. So we were able to really customize the program and leverage those skills. And that's one of the things at the beginning, we kind of like, ooh, let's figure out what we have to work with and build on that. You had lifetime of travel. You had done some of those marketing stuff. Other people's don't have those skills. They have different skills. So we tie those in a different way. And that's a great thing about, instead of, Careers on Travel is not like buy a program, you watch it, and then, it's a interactive, you work with an expert step by step based on your needs. For Whimsy, we're very different from the needs of the next client or the next client. So that is great to hear that we were able to, it was easier than you thought, which is awesome, because 12 weeks later, boom, you have a business that's out there and live in the world. It's so exciting.
When customized to my needs, and customized, like you think of a travel agency when you're not in the business and you think, oh, they just sell everything, and to help get clarity on what it is that I wanted to sell, what my passion was, and that way I could bring expertise to the customer.
Yeah.
And and that helped to really drill it down and to really get my niche. I think that was a huge value for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Understanding you don't have to sell the entire world, but what you do have to know is what's going to be profitable. How do I package it to sell it, right? How do I market it? All of those things that come together based on, the places you had already been, places that you knew about, and then how do we have a training plan while you're in the program, and then now branching out next year, you have a clear idea of those different areas you want to get into as you grow your offerings for Whimsy, which is incredible. So that's awesome. So good to hear. What do you think your biggest win or celebration through the program has been?
Oh gosh, just seeing it all come together. Through like I said, I've been in marketing for years. And so I spent so much time on my name and my logo, but, I knew like the technical aspects of all of that, but to have your recommendations as to how to get the logo that I was looking for. And I didn't even know what I wanted, but I was able to, with your guidance, find exactly the right person to design it. And I absolutely love it. It speaks of me and what I stand for and what my customer base stands for. And so I think that was the most exciting part, is to see it just all kind of roll together and build into where it's all out there. It's all going and big.
Yes, it's running on autopilot. It's automated. And getting your branding right is so key.
Yeah.
There's so many people out there that just have like an auto-generated logo, and I'm like, so you came to me fresh. Like we got to start and say, what's your vision? What do we want it to say? Who's your target customer? Does it speak to that? And then once you have that finished, you're feeling great about it. Okay, now what are all the techniques to spiderweb everything out there and kind of get it operating out in the world? So it does feel good. It's kind of like, I imagine it's what an author feels like when they finish writing a book and it kind of lands in your lap and you're like, it's here, it's really here, I did it. So,
and the business cards come, and and all the social media put together, and you've got a plan, and and at the end it just is kind of all packaged together and ready to go. So yeah, I didn't have just one win, although my one is kind of just the whole picture.
Yes, the whole thing kind of coming together, which is awesome. Yep, I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, what would you want others to know about the Careers on Vacation program?
I think what makes it so different, I had another friend who signed up through a different situation, and her learning is so technical and just about the technical version that it's really overwhelming for her. Where for me, and we signed up ironically about the same time. Ironically for me, because it's so customized and because it's so personal, and you work on the mindset of how we do things, I just feel like it's the whole picture. I can have all the technical knowledge, but if I don't have the mindset to put it in action, it doesn't even matter, and so I love that it is the whole picture. It is customizable. We didn't spend excess time on marketing because I didn't need it,
Yep.
which gave me extra time to do something I did need. And so I think just knowing that it is customizable and will do so much more for you personally, than maybe some of the others that just have one curriculum and they follow it exactly.
Exactly, because this business is not a one size fits all. It
Right.
never will be, because of the complexity of it, because every person has a different vision for what their travel business needs to be. And, there's no set it and forget it. Like, we teach you how to automate and those things, but taking that customized approach. And it's funny because we have wait lists for our program every single month. So it's one of those, but I'm not changing anything, and I'm not going to apologize for it, because I only want to work with a certain number of people who are serious, but also because doing it right. Look, I've been doing this since 93, 94. 93, I started travel school. I was an agent by 94 and on my way, right? Have trained over 1,000 people. So I know how to do it right. This industry, it constantly changes. And yes, there's always technical stuff you need to learn, all those pieces. That is like basics 101.
Yeah.
What I love is working with people like you that are like, I want to run a real business. I don't just want to turn on my phone and take a couple vacation calls a month. Like, how do I do this at a big level? And that'll never be a buy it for a, cookie cutter type program. It just won't work that way. So send your friend over and we'll take care. No.
No, yeah.
At any rate, I love to hear that though, because yes, it's customized and around what everybody's individual needs are, which is great. So thank you for sharing that with the community. At the beginning, when we were first talking, was it hard for you to jump in and begin and commit to the program? What was that process like for you?
Uh, no, I think because I wanted it so much, for it to work and, to have this business, of course, self-doubt, comes into your brain and you have to kind of push it away. Can I really do this? And is this really possible? And can I afford it? Can I, all the can I, what if, but once I was able to push those things to the side, no, it wasn't hard, and you give a reasonable amount of homework each week, like it's a stepping process, and there is homework and there is, a lot of accountability on my side to get things done and to be prepared to move on to the next level on the next call. And so, just go in prepared and be ready that, you really are committing to a program. Like, this isn't just, yeah, I'm on the phone for an hour a week and that's it. There's a lot of homework and a lot of things you do in the middle, but that's also, you can package it up into that beautiful business when you're done.
Exactly. You get that, and so I had someone on the phone last week too, and they said it gave me all the tools that I needed to get everything I want to get out of my life and business. And I loved that, because it's kind of what you just said. It's, you have those little, reminders. Hey, this is where you should be at. This is where you should be at. Because look, we produce results.
Mm-hmm.
We're not like the same thing. If I sell you a set it and forget it, I don't ever have to care about you again. That is not what we do. Ours is hand holding through the process. So at the end, you have what you have now, which is a fully functional running business, marketing automated, all of that good stuff. You know how to assess it, but it's that interactive piece that's the magic. And that's what's hard for people to do, and that's why people don't do it, because that's kind of the magic of the program. But with at the beginning, that fear place,
Mm-hmm.
that makes you're going to see a training video later, but I'm going to do a plug for a little book called Big Magic. I'm going to send you a copy of this in the mail. This book is amazing, and it talks exactly what you just said. And this isn't pre-scripted, so it's going to take me a minute to find this. But I was reading this book this weekend, and I thought of my clients, because I thought, oh my God, this is what they go through at that beginning stage with, like, do I say yes to myself? Can I invest in myself? Do I do this? Can I do it? And I love, there's this little, there's another whole video that's going to be out there later, but I'm just going to read this one paragraph. And it's about this teacher who's basically having a conversation with someone who wants to be a writer, but they're hesitant about it. And so it says, he complimented her work and asked her what she wanted to do with her life. Hesitantly, she admitted that perhaps she wanted to be a writer. Perhaps you want to run a big travel business, right? He smiled at the girl with infinite compassion and asked, do you have the courage? Do you have the courage to bring forth this work? And then, this is the last one, if you don't have goosebumps yet, he says, the treasures that are hidden inside you are hoping you will say yes. So Celeste, and I haven't shared this with Celeste in advance, Celeste had those treasures inside her. Like, she had been to Bali, she had been to Kenya, she had been to Kosovo. She knows how exciting travel is. She knew she wanted to somehow transition into this world. Did you have the courage? Yes, you do. And the treasures inside you are hoping, praying, pulling for you to say yes. And that's when people get in their own way of that fear. Like everything you brought up, can I, will I? So love that. Last question for you. Would you recommend Careers on Vacation to others?
Absolutely, without question. And, this isn't, it's not something I did for Cyndi just because I like Cyndi. I mean, this is a program I believe in very strongly. I do like Cyndi, but that's what it's about. But yeah, I mean, as I said, it started me on a whole journey of rediscovering myself. You gave me tools to really, it wasn't, I signed up thinking I was getting a travel business course, which I did. And that was amazing. And as I said, to come through the other side and have this business is fantastic. But it also started me on a journey to have the courage and to build that inside of myself and to really dig deep. Why do I want to do this? It's not just for the money. As we know, it doesn't pay immediately. Even if I book 1,000 trips tomorrow, it doesn't pay tomorrow.
Travel.
Yeah. So why do I want to? And, the biggest answer is, when I was in Istanbul, Turkey, and I'm watching these 80-year-old people on their vacation, the trip of a lifetime. And it's beautiful to see that, but gosh, how much more could they have gotten out of that trip if they went when they were 40 or 50 or, and so what can I do as a business owner to encourage people to travel now, and really experience the world and everything it has to offer. And I feel like you got that in me, that it's not for you just about, I booked this trip and they're gone. Yay. Now I get paid. It's not about that. It's so much more. It's about the why we do it and what we care so much about. And that's what made the difference for me, is that you get it on that same level. And it's not just a business. It's about memories and,
Yes, this is all the good stuff. I love it so much. I have goosebumps in it because you're right. Yes, we teach people how to run supersized travel businesses because we have to support our addiction to travel, number one, but what are you doing with your life? Yeah. How are you choosing to spend your life? And you know what? You know how we choose to spend our life? We are the catalyst to people. Really, it's love. Right? When you're that 80-year-old couple, or you are, they do all these studies that say that people get into their elder years and they look back on their lives. No one says, oh, I wish I would have put in more hours at the office. No, people say, I should have spent more time with my family. I should have traveled more. I should have, done all those things. What we're really delivering are those intangible moments, those connections of love for people. And, I get really up here when I start talking about travel because Celeste is right. That is what we do. That is what we deliver. We are literally raising the vibration of love amongst families, amongst companies that use us, that do conventions, among whoever's traveling. Yeah. Our job is to deliver love if you really get down to the nuts and bolts of it. And how powerful is that? How great are our lives that we get to be the genies in the bottle that you say, oh, hey, travel agent, where do you want to go? What do you want to do? What kind of magical vacation that you're going to be looking back on for the last 20 years can we help you do? Yeah. And to Celeste's point, she's talking about the 80-year-old couple, and that's great. Those are clients. But for those of you who maybe haven't traveled that much, what are you waiting for? you know,
Yes.
right? Get
Yes.
out there and travel. Like I put together this slideshow a couple weeks ago, and it was like, look at my my goal for myself was, let me try to put my 20-year career into like 30 seconds or under a minute. And I went back and started looking at all these pictures. When I was 19, I visited Stonehenge. I was at Buckingham Palace, traveling through Amsterdam, Hawaii, Las Vegas, all these crazy places, right? And I'm like, boom, 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 putting these pictures in. And they're like, I had to get it down to like 1 second per every picture that I put into the slideshow. It's on YouTube somewhere out there in the YouTube world. But when I watch it, I got really emotional because it's like, oh my gosh, like if nothing else, my life is a success because I don't ever regret money I spent on vacations. And this is what I do for people. And then I thought, I had another thought that I was like, wow, what if I could have put together this slideshow of every client I've ever touched over 20 years and just one picture from every trip. I mean, it would be hours long, right? But just like when you think about the impact of your life, really, I mean, this is the good stuff. I'm getting goosebumps. I love it. This is what we do. This is why I'm so, we get to get up and do this every day. Like, this is our life. How amazing. But Celeste, I want to say congratulations to you for saying yes to yourself, leaning into your power as a businesswoman, as an entrepreneur, and saying, yes, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to do it. What am I waiting for? And now you have a beautiful business that is thriving to move forward with. So congratulations to you. And we'll be keeping in touch because you go into our grad group now. Again, we're not set it and forget it. We're like cheerleading for the rest of your life and there to support you on in your journey. If any of you guys out there are watching this testimonial from Celeste and you were thinking about having a travel business, or if your travel business is more of in a hobby stage right now and you're not at big travel business level, reach out to us. I'll add a link below for our page, our information. Reach out, book a discovery call so we can get you clear on your goals, and we'll go from there. For everyone else, thank you for tuning in today and hearing Celeste's story. I'm going to tag her information below so you guys can follow her online and watch her amazing. She takes amazing trips. She took amazing trips before she joined the program. I can't wait to see what she's going to be doing in the future. And she has an eye for photos and all of that good stuff. So I'm going to tag her info below. Feel free to follow her as well. And thanks for tuning in today. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye, Celeste.